What, if you were describing yourself to someone, what sort of a writer would you say you are?
A book writer.
A book writer. Well, all right, but what kind of stories do you tell? How do you describe them? Because there is some...
I write so many different kinds of things. I was first published as a poet, and then as short stories, and then novels. And I still do all three, and now I've done some script writing. So I just write anything that's there to be written.
You like to write?
I like to write.
Yes. Supposing someone who has a child that they think has got some particular talent were to come to you and say to you, I think I have this child with talent. What can I do to help the child realize its abilities?
I guess basically approval, support, and admiration, but intelligent admiration. I mean, okay, we had a musical kid, and neither of us knows anything about music, and we were very dumb about what to do with her. So I know exactly how a parent who has a child who is doing something they don't understand very well, you sort of try to educate yourself. Your child is going to educate you in that case, which is very exciting for everybody, and very pleasant, really, for everybody. And you just sort of, you try to figure out what the kid needs to go on with whatever this gift may be, whether it's, for music or athletics or gardening or writing or whatever, You
take it seriously. And
you take it seriously, and yes, and sort of go along with it.
And did you decide to be a writer, or did you discover that you were one? When was the turning point where you knew this was it?
I think about age 5. I was just...
You weren't tempted anything else?
I never said I want to be a writer. I said to myself, because I was too shy to say it to anybody else, I am a writer. I just took it for granted. That was one thing I was going to do. And I always did.
How do you work? I think a lot of people who, when they stop to think about creative people, think it's sort of like a 24-hour golf game or always going fishing or something. What is it that you do?
It is funny. People, particularly writing, I think, people do assume it's something you do in your spare time.
Yes.
It's kind of, I do my housework in my spare time.
Yes.
Well, these days when the kids are grown up and out of the house, I sort of get to my desk between 7 and 8 in the morning and leave it between 12 and 1, because 4 or 5 hours work, if I'm working hard, is all I can do anymore. When the kids were home, I worked at night, because you cannot do real artistic professional work and be looking after kids, be responsible to and for kids at the same time. There's no way you can do that. So you get them to bed or whatever,
But it's not a mutually exclusive possibility for one person to do both. Or is it superhuman?
One person to do both is pretty hard. If you've got a supportive spouse, and I mean truly supportive, so that she's got her job, he's got his job, and they've got their job, which is child rearing and housekeeping. And that's precisely what my husband gave me, was that kind of really genuine, generous support with no strings attached. So that is quite unusual, but it does work. 2 people can do 3 full-time jobs, yes.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
But I don't think one person can do 2 full-time jobs. Women kill themselves trying to do that, and get into so much rage and anger and guilt about it that, if you don't have this kind of partnership, then you've got to get some kind of hired help or child care. I think is the only way to do it.
If you're going to keep
if you're going to have a family and be a full-time artist too, yeah, or professional of any kind, really.